Luckily, the bottles are closed. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this first work session of Money Smart Week 2024. Yay! We've been waiting for this for quite a few weeks, and a lot of you were involved in the planning of this, so we're very excited that eventually it is here. So to kick off, we have the lovely Miss Winnie Rabathata, yes, coming from the National Credit Regulator to come and talk to us about all the nasty, shall we call it nasty things, credit and debt management. So Winnie gave me a little bit of a bio that I just want to read to you to introduce her. Winnie is a self-driven individual who is enthusiastic and so bubbly. Met her this morning, and that is definitely true. A public relations degree holder, always willing to learn any necessary skills that will assist her in building her career towards being a professional individual. An employee of the National Credit Regulator in the Education and Communications Department. She actually started as a learner at the NCR. So we have quite a few learners here, so you can see where this can lead. And now she is acting as a senior education officer, and she is highly motivated. So with that, Winnie, welcome. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Good morning. How are you? How are you guys angry? Hi, hello. How are you? I am good, thank you. So thank you so much for the invite. I'm so honored. As introduced, my name is Winnie. Actually, my surname is Rabathata, but you know, home affairs eras. So they decided to give me a different surname that I'm using now, but I prefer Winnie Rabathata. But if you have to come to the NCR, obviously you have to ask for Winnie Rabathata. So who are we as the National Credit Regulator? The reason why we are here, as she explained, it's Money Smart Week, and it's very important. I'm sure you guys can attest with me that money plays an important role in our lives. When you are broke, hey, nothing matters. Like, you'll be asking, why is this floor on the floor? Hey, why is that person looking at me? Why is this wealth here? You know, because money plays an important role, but it's so important for us to know how to use it wisely so that you don't end up being over indebted. We all know that, our country, we are facing the high cost of living. Hey, you saw last year, the interest rates hikes, the repo rate going high, and also the sad part, the unemployment rate. So, consider yourself lucky when you are here, because it's not everyone. So as she said, I started as a learner. Now I'm acting as a senior. So I don't know who needs to hear this. Please work hard. Please work hard. You know what? You'll find all these people, be in a competition with yourself. Work so hard so that you can get where you want to be. This is your life and this is your journey, and no one can tell you otherwise. So, as you all know that we are celebrating Women's Month. Halala, ladies, halala. So don't forget you are important, lady. Don't forget your self-worth. Don't forget that to value yourself first. Put yourself first in everything. Obviously, God first, but then also you second. So forget about that boyfriend, forget about that crush, forget about that relationship that is so toxic. Focus on what is important. Your goal is check your goal. What is your goal? So if your goal is to be the most, the professional, whatever that focus on that. Take out all those distractions because at the end of the day, it's your journey and it's your responsibility. Excuses will come, people will come, haters. Hello, we all have haters, right? But then the most important thing is for you to work so hard, because as I said, this is your life. But without any waste of time, let's get to my presentation. So we at the NCR, I'm sure you guys know the NCR, right? You have seen it somewhere, our sticker outside the banks, outside the different shops at the mall. So we as the NCR, we are a government agency under the Department of Trade and Industry and Competition, DTIC. So our mandate is to make sure that we regulate the credit industry. But we don't only regulate, but we register the industry players, including the credit providers, the loan sharks, avomashonisa. And I know there is one loan shark there. I can see. You are busy borrowing people money and you are not registered. You'll be penalized. Imagine you are being penalized 40,000 and you were borrowing your colleagues 10 rand to buy magwenya. So please, come speak to me so that you know what to do to register with the NCR. It's against the law to borrow people. It doesn't matter. Before 2014, you could borrow anyone. Maybe 5 or 10. So there was, and then after 2014, they saw that let's amend the National Credit Act, and so that each and every person who's borrowing money, if I am borrowing my neighbor, I am a credit provider because I provided credit. So you are sitting there and you are charging people 40%, you are charging them 50%, you'll go to jail. I'm telling you. You see this future that you think you are planning, I will be visiting you there at Kosimamburu prison. So please, some things are not worth it. You'll be penalized 40,000, but then the 40,000 you don't even have. Then you have to go and borrow. Imagine a mashonisa, a loan shark going to borrow again. So please stop doing that. If you know you are borrowing people money, it's not allowed for you to borrow people money without being registered with the NCR. So in most cases, you'll see outside the banks or outside the retail accounts, they will have the sticker that says NCR, and it will have the expiring date. So that before you borrow, make sure that that person is registered with the NCR, and the expiring date, if it's this year, then the expiring date will be July 2025, right? So if it's not July 25, that means that person didn't renew, and you don't have to go and borrow money with them or have be on in any kind of business with them, because that person is going to take your SASSA card, your IDs, your bank cards, and overcharge you on interest rates. So it's very important for you to report all these people. Even if it's your boyfriend, even if it's your uncle, report them to the NCR. Yes, because you are saving someone. They are busy charging our consumers 40%, and according to the National Credit Act, you can only charge people 5%. But then I'll get to that. It's not only 5%, but the interest rate that you're supposed to be charging, especially if it's a short-term loan, which is not more than 8,000 rand, and the repayment period is 6%. According to the repo rate, according to the South African Reserve Bank, it's 5%, not 40%, not 35%, not 100% interest rate. Otherwise, if you're charging any of that, prison is waiting for you. But anyway, so we also register the debt counselors. Do we get those calls, 021, 087 private numbers? Those annoying calls, and they'll tell you that they will pay for your debts. They'll tell you that you have been selected for the government debt relief program. Those people are scammers. No one is going to pay your debt, let me tell you. You went and took that loan and for your graduation that you did not even invite us. Then you want us to pay for your debt. Aibo, no ways, it's so unfair. So no one is going to pay for your debt. Only you are responsible because you signed a credit agreement. You put your signature there to say, come rain or sunshine, I'm going to pay this amount each and every month. So that's the reason why affordability is so important. That's the reason why the peer pressure, don't even take anything because of peer pressure, because at the end of the day you'll be reliable, and don't take credit for anyone. I don't even care if it's your boyfriend with muscles, your girlfriend with a sexy body. Do not take credit for anyone. Don't. Even if they tell, even your mothers, even your families, do not, because at the end of the day, you'll be reliable to pay for that. You'll be liable to pay for that. And also remember, if you don't pay, then you'll default after 3 months and they'll blacklist you as we know it as negatively listing. So if you are negatively listed or blacklisting as we all know it, then there are implications, the consequences. So if you want to see yourself working for a financial company, unfortunately you won't be hired there, but we'll get to that. And also we register the ADRs, the PDA, the Payment Distribution Agencies, the credit bureaus. Credit bureaus, it's what we know as ITC. It's the library of our credit information. So the minute you open an account with Winnie Loan Shark, then Winnie Loan Shark will take your information to the credit bureau, and then each and every month it records how you are paying as a consumer. And then if you want to go and borrow again to a different or a potential credit provider, they will have to go to the credit bureau so that they can check if they can trust you. So that's the reason why it's so important to check your credit score. When last did you check your credit score? Do you know your credit report? Have you seen it? You know the dangers of not checking your credit report. If you are a victim of identity fraud, meaning that someone stole, hello, hi, at the back, thank you. If there's someone who stole your identity or your ID and they went and opened an account using you, right, using your identity, and then they pretend to be you, then you won't know if you haven't checked your credit report. So please check your credit report regularly and to check if you are not a victim of identity fraud. I don't know if you guys know that it's so possible for someone just to open an account using your ID. Do you know? ID number only. You don't even have to be there. You know, we are going on the fourth industrial technology, and now we have artificial intelligence, AI, and some of you on social media, hey, we can't even recognize you because you're using an AI. So then also technology, it has all its bad sides. It has its bad the bad disadvantages, sorry. So while you are there using technology to do your assignment, to do whatever, just know that there's someone who's using the same technology to use you or to on fraudulent activities. So please check your credit report all the time. Please check your credit report all the time. I don't even care, even if it's every month. The same way you are checking your social media, checking that crush of yours, if they upload it, check your credit report. Thank you. And also, we don't only register them, but we monitor their conduct. We make sure that our mashonisa, the credit providers, they don't take your SASSA cards, your IDs and bank cards. Some of you didn't even vote because where's your ID? The loan shark took it. So some of you don't even know where your ID is because the credit provider took your microwave, your books, and everything, because they are not allowed to do that. So it's against. So our duty is to make sure that we monitor their conduct to make sure that they don't take advantage of you. And then even those people who are calling you with 021, 087 private numbers, and then suddenly you give a stranger on the phone that you don't even know your ID. Why? I mean, if I call you and say, my name is Winnie on the phone, and I say, please confirm your ID, why? If I am calling you, I should have your details, right? So that when someone says, please confirm your ID, you don't confirm. You tell me, what is a confirmation? Maybe I don't know English. What is a confirmation? Someone tells you your ID, and then you confirm to say, oh yes, yes or no, right? But then when you tell them your ID or give them your ID on the phone, you're giving it to them for the first time, and they're going to use it for a fraud, and they're going to open accounts using your name. So that's the reason why your ID isn't the most important number. You don't even play with it. And I get so scared when young people are always writing their IDs everywhere. You go to a mall and you're minding your business. Someone tells you, hey, can you please sign this petition for whatever? And then there on that petition, it has your ID. Why? Why do you put your ID numbers? Because now with technology, anyone can do anything with it. And for us women, they can even marry us, right? You'll find that, the time you are ready to marry your handsome man, and then Home Affairs says, oh, you've been married. And when you check, to who? Ucho Pumbu, or Chukunku. And you're like, me, myself, and I. All right, so that's the reason why you find two people, but you'll find at Home Affairs they are saying that you are sharing your ID with 10 people or 5 people. It's because of all those things that you are giving people your ID without even verifying. If someone called me, and I'll even say, please send me an email. I can hear you, you're selling and all that. Please send me an email with everything that you are telling me. And then if that email comes as Winnie at Yahoo or Gmail or whatever, that's a scam. Because if you are saying your firm NCR, your email address should be at ncr.co.za, right? So that's how you spot scammers. But anyway, that's the reason why I'm here. And also, we educate and create awareness. This is through presentations like this. We also do radio interviews and TVs and all that. So our duty is to educate you so that you have all the knowledge, because knowledge is power. And when you have all this knowledge, you are able to protect yourself from all these unscrupulous industry players. And we also receive and investigate your complaints, whether there's someone who open account using your identity. We can assist you with that. If there's a credit provider who's taking people's SASA cards or IDs or overcharging you on interest rate, we also assist you. And if there's someone who put you under debt counseling without your permission, then we can also, as long as you didn't sign, the importance of a signature, but I'll get there. And also we enforce and take action against the industry players that are contravening with the National Credit Act. So we have actually taken action against a lot of companies, especially those, and I'm sure you have seen in the past the way the credit, especially the credit bureau, the scammers or the hackers will hack their system and threaten to you release our credit information. So we have taken action against those, because as a credit provider with so much confidential information and personal information, you should have the best security ever. That's the reason why I always have a problem when I come to a company and then they don't have the information officer, because when we sign our registers, do you know POPIA, right? Yes, POPIA Act protects your personal information. So it says, after you signed here, where is this information going to be stored? Because I can come, right? And I see that, the registers, maybe one of your mentors just, put those information with your personal information, just they lying there. And I can just take a picture, and pretend like, no. Then take all this information and call you and sell all these things that I'm selling, right? So, and remember, Bobia says, no one has the right to call you without your permission. No one even has the right to post you on social media, okay? So that boyfriend of yours or girlfriend of yours can be sued because you have no right to post anyone without their permission. Okay, ladies and guys as well. But anyway, let's move along. So as the NCR, we also distribute the statistics to see where we are as the country in terms of credit. So we do this through the two reports, which is the CCMR and CBM. So this is according to the information that we got the last quarter, which is from January until March. So according to our stats, we have 27.92 million consumers. So this is each and every person who has a credit on their name, right? And I don't know if you fall under this number, but you know yourself, right? Some of you have retail accounts, you took a phone on contract, you fall under there. So this is each and every person with a credit agreement. This is each and every person with a debt on their name. And also out of that 27.92 million, we have 17.83 million consumers who are in good standing. These are us, because I'm scared of the law, so I pay all my debts. But I don't know, when now you have to sit there, you're sitting there like, where do I fall? Do I fall in good standing, or yay, the next one, which is the red? This is the impaired. This one, this one, they reverse the debit orders. And this one, they are blacklisted. They are under that counseling. So those consumers are 10.9 million. And as you can see, it's in red. That means it's red for danger. So you are sitting there, you don't know. You have to think about it, whether you fall under the good standing or the impaired, but only you know. And then if you're falling under the impaired, please make sure that you make arrangements with your credit provider so that you can sort that out, because it at some stage it will affect you. And also the total consumer debt, this is how much we are owing as a country. Our beautiful cars, houses, our beautiful clothes that we took on credit, and everything else. This is how much we are owing. We are owing 2.3 trillion rand. Yo, yes. You see? So it shows that we rely so much on credit. Everything we do is credit. You even airtime advance. Some of you have 5 SIM cards. Hey, you are still owing. Yes, they want their money. Pay them. Hey, no, I can't use that SIM card because they want their money. Yes, they want their money. It's what? It's a debt that you have to pay, and that's how we start, right? That's how we start. We start with airtime advance. We start with borrowing from your neighbors, and you move from your neighbors because you are such a bad payer. Then you move to your colleagues. When you are there, walking by the passage here at work, like there she is. She's going to borrow money. There she is. So they know you as a bad payer. Change that. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with your priorities, because there's no way that you can be that person that, here she is, she's coming. So please, have responsibilities. Welcome and thank you. All right, so out of that number, the 27.92 million, only 858, guys, only this number accessed their credit reports. Why you guys don't ask for your credit reports? Why? Do you even don't you feel so ashamed for not knowing your credit report or your credit score? Because there are scammers there who are playing with your ID number. There are scammers there who are taking loans on your name, and they are busy there in Cape Town on a vacation while you don't even know where Cape Town is. You see how unfair life is? It's so unfair. But because you don't check your credit report regularly, these people and when you come to the NCR, it's been 6 months or a year. And then you come, no, I didn't know, I didn't, can you please remove it? Can you please remove it? By that time, you are doing this because you couldn't get a job because of your credit score, because you are blacklisted. Now you want us to, speed the investigation so that you can be hired. But had you checked your credit report, you see some of the decisions that we make now, they affect us in the long run. So you may be sitting there like, I don't need this information. But one day you will remember me and you'll be seeing, that girl, that lady. Hey, and I'll be gone. Not gone, but yeah. Hey, I still have to leave. But anyway, and out of that 857,000, only 38,348 disputed. So remember, you have the right to dispute any information. Just because it's there on your credit report doesn't mean that it's yours. So if you know that, I don't know this credit, you need to dispute it. If they are saying that you are a male, knowing that you are a female, then you need to dispute it. If they are saying that you stay in Cape Town, but you know that you stay in Johannesburg, you need to dispute that information. Also, as the NCR, we make sure that you know your consumer rights, and so that you can protect yourself. As I said, an educated consumer is a protected one. You are able to protect yourself from all the scammers, all these companies who are trying to take advantage of you, because we work so hard for our money. The fact that we woke up and came here each and every day, and then here comes this person who wants to take your money, it's just so unfair. So you need to protect yourself, and also take this information and share it with your loved ones. So according to the National Credit Act, you have the right to apply for credit free from any discrimination. So no company can say, oh no, you're working for the such and such company, or you voted for such and such party, so I cannot give you credit. There's no way that they can discriminate you. But however, that doesn't mean that automatically you'll be accepted. That doesn't mean that, yes, because you have a right to apply for credit, that you can be given that credit, depending on your affordability. And also you have the right to disclosure of information. When someone calls you, when you go and borrow, when you decide, when you have a stable income, now you are still a learner, and it's just a stipend. When you are permanent and you want your quid, right? don't go for GTI. No, we start here, right? Then you decide to, you know what, I afford my quit. I'm permanent and I'm earning a good salary. Then you go to a dealership. They need to disclose. So first of all, they need to give you a pre-quotation statement. The pre-quotation statement, it's not an agreement. It's not a credit agreement. It's just for you to see if you will be able to afford that quid that you are buying, or that GTI that if you are earning thousands. Okay, then on that pre-quotation, it has to disclose the amount of the car, the quid, how much you are borrowing, the interest rate. We have two different interest rates. We have variable and fixed. So in most cases, your pre-quotation, it will have two amounts. So it will have the, for example, 2,500 and it will have 3,500. So with the 2,500, it's on a variable, meaning that it can change anytime. So when Lesotho Kanyaho just decide to increase the repo rate with 25 basis point or 50 basis point, then that amount will change. But then the 3,500, it's a fixed one, meaning that come rain or sunshine, if our inflation is doing well or not, then it will never change. So always do your research between these two interest rates. Then also they need to disclose how many months the installment, and also the first day of the installment and the last day. And then also if there are any fees, for example, the collection and other fees that they may be charging you. So all that, the quotation needs to disclose all that information. And also it needs to say if you are taking a car on a balloon payment. Do we know the balloon payment? Some of you think the balloon payment is because, there'll be when you go and get your car, there will be balloons there, and when you go into the dealership, there are no balloons, and you're like, okay. But then I was charged balloon payment, only to find out that after 5 years of paying your car, they are telling you, remember that balloon payment, then cash or refinance, and then high blood, sugar diabetes goes up because you thought you are done with your car, only to find out no, because you took your car on balloon payment without asking what a balloon payment is. Guys, let's learn to ask questions. Ask anything, even if it's the stupid question ever. Ask before you sign. The minute you put your signature there or your initials, it means that you have accepted and you gave them authority to do whatever. So the balloon payment, it's for me, a balloon payment, it's you don't afford the car. Because if the car is 500,000, for example, but when they do the affordability assessment, you can only afford 300,000. But that doesn't mean the car is 300,000. It's still 500,000. So they will give you the car on a monthly installment of 300,000, not 500,000. Then when you are done with the 5 years and the 300,000, then you are still liable to pay the 200,000. That's what we call balloon payment. So do your research. For me, if your car is on balloon payment, you don't afford it, unfortunately. You don't. And that's the reality. Because if you afford, you wouldn't be on balloon payment. And the reason why we force, because remember the companies, the reason why they have this balloon payment is because they don't want to be charged for reckless lending, for giving you credit that you don't afford. So they will be giving you a car that costs 500,000, but on 300,000. So it's a win-win for them, but it's a lose for you. Because if you couldn't afford the 500,000 back then, what makes you think in 5 years you'll afford it? So those are the questions that you need to ask yourself. And a car is a liability. It depreciates in value. So by the time you want to sell it, but it's not even 200,000, because it has depreciated. There's another level, another model, a better one. So that one of yours, they see it as a wheelbarrow, and by that time you were not even taking care of it. It has some funny sounds, and so obviously when you take it to we buy cars, whatever and ever, and they will give you for 50,000 for a car that you bought it on 500,000. So those are the things that you need to consider when buying a car, and they need to disclose all these things. But anyway, also you have the right to information in an official language that you can understand. And the language needs to be pure and simple and so understanding. We are so lucky in our country. We have 13 official languages, and the 13th one being the sign language. So you can ask them in any language. Do not sign any document that is written in language that you don't understand. Ask someone, these people, they are on commission. They want that commission. So they'll wait for you. They'll wait for you. Ask them to explain what is a balloon payment. And if you don't understand, they'll bring another person until you understand. The minute you put your signature there, gone. We can't even assist you because your signature is so important. You don't sign anything that you don't understand. And now because of technology, that we have what we call a digital signature. And this is one of the main problems at the NCR. A lot of complaints, especially debt cancelling without permission or without your consent. It's through the digital signature. When someone calls you and they are in a hurry, ask yourself why. If someone calls me with 021, 087 and I'm telling them, no, I'm busy, I'm in a workshop with the NCR, whoa, you'll see them. No, just give me your ID so that I can, prepare your application. Otherwise, you will lose out on a discount. What discount? What discount? Because this person just called you, hasn't even explained anything. No, ma'am, you're going to lose on a discount. We are chosen. Chosen by who? No. That's how you spot a scammer. They're always in a hurry because they know anytime you can just change your mind. And once you give them your ID, gone. They'll put you under debt counseling. They'll take your ID and go and open accounts. And you come to the NCR and you say, but then these people don't. And most of the consumers, they give them their ID and then they verify after. They call the NCR. How? It defeats the purpose. There's no way that you can get shot and then after that you go and like, oh yeah, I saw them coming and to shoot me. Now I'm here. No, you make sure that you verify before anything else. Now, ma'am, who are you? From where? Okay, here, you please send me an email. Please send me an email. No, ma'am, we don't have a no. Okay, bye. You'll call me when you have a time to send me an email because it's your time, it's your phone. You're paying it yourself. No one is giving. So use that. This is my phone. Paid it on cash or bought it on cash or whatever, but it's your phone. Be in charge. Stop using these people stop allowing these people to just take advantage of you. Be in control. All right? Are you still okay? Hey, am I scaring you with all this information? But anyway, moving along, you also have the right to challenge, access and challenge any information that is kept at the credit bureau. I've mentioned this, the importance of checking your credit report all the time. You also have the right to confidential treatment. This is what I was talking about, the BOPIA. And also, have you seen all the time, those who have bought cars previously or recently, you just bought a car and before you can even post it on social media and all that, but already you're getting SMSs about tracker, about insurance. How did those people know that you've just bought a car? You haven't even posted or told anyone. It's because of that person at the dealership. In our credit report, credit agreement, there's a portion, it's small, and usually it's in small font. It says, do you want us to share your information with other people? Because we don't eat carrots, and you're like, hey, what is this? You're asking the devil himself, hey, what is this? And I just say yes. Can't they know they're going to share your information with other people? So all the time, check your credit reports. Check before you read, but check everything. Be detail orientated. Our problem is that we are a generation that doesn't read. We are a generation that doesn't read. Oh, okay, then sign. Then 5 months after that, when they have double debited you, then you come to the NCR and they don't want to refund you, you come to the NCR and we can't assist you because you have signed a document that says after 5 months we will double debit from now on. So you see, so now here you are, depression. You are absconding from work because of a mistake that you did. So always, do not be a hurry for something that will cost you everything, your well-being. Take your time all the time. Take your time. These people, they are on commission, as I said. They will have all this time, and you also have your quotation, your pre-quotation statement has 7 working days. Valid is valid for 7 working days. So until then, use that time to go through it. Even if you have to give somebody else, please go through this. Do you see any? Did you find some loopholes? Then they were like, nah, it's okay. Then you take it to another person, as long as it's within the 7 working days. And also, you have the right to receive regular statements. Are you guys receiving your statements? Those who with credit, those with debt, are you receiving? Are you checking how much you have paid and how much you are owing? You're still owing. It's so important. Some of you are paying a debt that has prescribed. A prescribed debt, meaning that you are not supposed to be paying that. It is prescribed. They need to remove it on your name. But you're still paying it because you don't check your statements. Some of you are being overcharged. They are charging you on your statement. They've put credit life insurance. They've put account protector, which is the same thing, but different words. But because you don't check your statements, then you are paying that. Money is so important, guys. Every cent counts. I don't even care. Every cent counts. If I can ask you, how many of you check regularly, just randomly check your statements, your bank statements? Because there are debit orders that will never alert you if it's less than, I think, 100 rand. There's a bank that if it's less than 100 rand, it will never. So there's this company that's being debiting that 10 rand, and that imagine if someone takes 10 rand from each and everyone, they are billionaire. But because we don't check all this credit, our statements, we don't check anything. They're like, they're debiting, it's okay. They're supposed to be debiting. No, you work so hard for that money. Anyway, you also have the right to be given reasons if your credit have been declined. So this means that if you have been declined, they need to tell you why. Is it because you failed affordability assessment? You went to apply for GTI and on a stipend, a learnership salary? Because some of us, we like testing God and hey! Some of us, we like testing things. Like, let me see. Maybe those miracles that we read about, they will start with me. Then you go with your 3,500 and you apply for GTI. They need to tell you why. It's because you failed affordability assessment. Is it because you are under that counseling? Is it because you are blacklisted? If it's any of this, no one has any credit provider. They're not allowed to give you credit. And if your credit score is low as well, they can't give you credit. Because if it's low, that means you are blacklisted. But anyway, let's move along. And you also have the right to be assisted when you are over-indebted. So if you are drowning, you are sitting here like, oh, I am blacklisted. Oh, I'm struggling. I'm not coping with my debt. I have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and my money is not enough. My salary is not enough. You have the right to be assisted. I'll get to that. Also, the reason why we are always over-indebted, and the reason why we are always drowning in debt is because we are paying for debts that we didn't even need. Things that were not even important in our lives. Every time when you go and apply for credit, ask yourself, is this a good debt or a bad debt? Is this a necessary debt or it's not a necessary debt? Ask yourself all this, and it will help you to actually not be over-indebted, to take things that you don't even need. So according to the NCA, so a good debt is a necessary debt. It's usually incurred when you borrow money, to buy things like a house. Right? Because a house is an asset. It increases in value. It appreciates in value. The house that you bought in 2020, after 10 years, it wouldn't be that 200,000. It's more than that. But that VRPA of yours, I've explained with the, your balloon payment, because it's a liability. And also your business, when you take a loan, developmental credit to open accounts, to open your business or to take capital, that's a good debt, because at least you'll be getting profit. And also for education and studies, also you are investing in your future. But a bad debt, a bad debt is a necessary one. Usually it's something that you didn't need. When you go and open that account, because you want to go to that party of that girl that doesn't even like you, and she invited you because out of PET, because everyone was forcing her, and now you go there and then there's a theme, and a theme is dark white, And by that time, you're like, what is that white? And on top of that, they told you that it's bring your own alcohol. You're going to buy yourself there. And the two, you must bring a gift. And the gift, it's a list. I get it, we can attest. I get it, we can relate to that. Where you are invited to this party, and when you look at your wallet, you're like, damn, I should have lied that I have a running tummy. It's okay. It's a white lie. Just say, text them like, yo, girl, I didn't sleep all night. I'm just scared that if I come there, maybe I'll infect you guys. But you are just sitting there watching TV and checking them on social media. Because some of the things are not important, guys. When you take that loan for your boyfriend, that's a bad debt. To lobola you, to pay, to marry you, that's a bad debt. Why are you marrying yourself? Ladies, why are you marrying yourself? Guys, stop doing this, okay? If someone has to go and borrow money to marry you, they don't afford you. They don't afford to marry you. Just say, baby, it's fine. It's fine. Let's wait for 2 years. Let's go and work. Just imagine if now they are borrowing now to marry you. What's going to happen when you're married? You'll be switching TVs and appliances to save electricity. Because it's so bad, because you knew the signs were there. The red flag was there to say we don't afford. We don't afford. And it's because we are so obsessed with getting the ring. We are so obsessed with you are married. Ladies, no. You are still a woman with or without being married. Guys, you are still a man with or without getting married. Stop allowing our families to put us in so much pressure. No, you can afford. Go and borrow 300,000. Yeah! 300,000! You know how much is 300,000? And by that time, when you call them, when you can't pay, can you please, to take that loan. So please, say no. Learn to say no. A white lie. God will forgive you, Shem. Anyway, so these are the difference between the good debt and the debt. And also a salary advance is a bad debt. A salary advance is a bad debt. It means you didn't do your proper planning. There's something. Go back and to the drawing board. Go and check your budget. Go and check your planning. Your priority. There's something wrong. If you have to take a salary advance, that's a bad debt. That means you can't afford the life, guys. And it's okay. When I was doing my learnership, I was staying at a back room because I knew that that's not where I'm going to be. Now I'm a homeowner. And back then, if I checked my situation and said, imagine people see me and I'm staying in a back room. No, I don't care. I don't care at all because this is not where I'll be ending. This is where I'm starting, and because of my salary, we were getting 7,000, and the rent was like 600, and I was saving so much. So check your salary, check your expenses, check your income, and there in your income, do you have savings? Some of us, we are getting 3,500, but already there's nails, money for nails. There's wig. But you don't even have savings. You don't even have savings. The next thing they call you with a permanent job, they tell you in Free State to come for an interview. The first thing you do, you go and borrow money from the unregistered care providers. And immediately when you tell them or you're going on an interview, already they are expecting, like, okay, this one, let me charge them 80%. And you come back, you didn't get the job because you are blacklisted. Now you are still stuck with that 80% interest. You see? And this is our realities. But had you saved, I'm not saying don't take care of yourself, but check affordability. I'm not saying don't look so good. Even Vaseline still does the work, the same job with your expensive lotion. You brush your hair, it's so nice. You can't afford at this moment. The minute you get a stable income, a stable job, then that's when you can get all these long nails. Because, there's nothing wrong as long as you can afford. My only problem is that buying things and doing things that you don't afford. And not taking care of the things that are important in your life. So that's where the good debt and a bad debt comes in. That's the reason why a lot of us, the cycle begins. Like we are always at the same place that we were 5 years ago. When you start your learnership, you must say, I was like this. I was here. And now I'm done with my learnership and I'm here. Right? Because at the end of the day, it's your future. Your mentors, they can take it to the river, but you can't force it. You can't force it. We can give you all this financial information. We can just tell you each and every day, please, let's check your let's go through your budgeting. Let's go through your expenses. But if you don't want to do anything, if you don't have financial discipline, you'll always be crying. You'll always absconding at work. You will always have depression. But anyway, I don't want you guys to get angry at me. I still want to be here. I want to come again. So, but anyway, guys, let's look at the difference between cash and credit. What makes credit to be expensive? If you don't have to take it on credit, don't take it. If it's not a must to take it on credit, do not take it. Rather save. So there's a picture of two. What is it? A TV, and then on cash it's 6,000 rand, but on credit it's 9,487. Imagine. On credit, if Black Friday is coming, and you know that your TV you have to before it plays, but you're not saving. Before you can watch it, you have to beg, Vuvu, my Vuvulicious, I need to watch Generations, I need to watch Soccer, can you please pay? But you are not saving for that TV. Black Friday is around the corner. Have you been saving? So the difference between cash and credit is because this cost that are associated with credit. So when you buy it on credit, you need to understand it all the time. You need to understand what makes credit to be expensive. So when you buy that TV that you bought on credit, they put interest rate. And as I said, there are different types of interest rate. There are different types of interest rate. For example, for your short-term loan, which is for our Mashonisa, the loan shark, it's 5%. Then we have developmental credit, which is 35. So we have your credit facilities, we have your mortgages, and so it's different. So they will put interest rate, they will put initiation fee. So initiation fee is we are starting the conversation, we are starting the agreement. It's like, we are starting this, so it's a once-off. So they'll put it on that 6,000 rand. And then the service fee, every time when they're calling you, all these statements that they are sending you, it's service fee. And it's 69 rand per year. And also credit life insurance. Credit life insurance, guys, it's an insurance for the debt. Should you die or get retrenched or disability, then the credit life insurance will pay for your debt for a period of 6 or 12 months. It doesn't pay the whole, unless if you are permanently disabled, then it will pay the whole debt. But if you're not, it's only paying for that period, 6 or 12 months, depending on your policy. So it's a policy, you need to check it. But however, it's compulsory for you to have credit life insurance. It's not compulsory for you to have credit life insurance with the credit provider, but it's compulsory to have credit life insurance with for that debt that you're taking. It's an assurance to say, should something happen to you, where am I going to get my money? Then maybe after 6 or 12 months, you would have gotten another job, or maybe someone, if you have passed on, then another family member is ready to take over the house, the car, and whatever. And otherwise, they'll repossess it and then sell it at an auction. And also the other cost is default charges. Default charges is area when they say your account is in arrears. So every time when you default, if instead of paying each and every month, then they'll charge you if you didn't pay for more than. And also the law says, the National Credit Act says, you can only be blacklisted after 3 months consecutive months of not paying. So if you miss this month, then next month you pay, it's not blacklisting. But if it's 3 consecutive, then you can be blacklisted. That's what the NCA says. So please check with your credit providers. And the last one is collection course. Collection course is when they have handed you over to the debt collectors. We know the debt collectors who are calling you every second. They are charging you all the time. When someone calls you, when your account has been handed over to the debt collectors, every time they call you, they are charging you. That's the reason why when you want to settle that account and it's not what you thought you were owing, it's more than that. It's because of they have included the collection. And some of you are like, okay, because they are charging me for calling me, I won't answer. But then you remember, you forgot, or you have a voicemail, a 3 minutes voicemail. My name is Winnie Rabathata. I am not available. If you want to call me after. Yeah. But wait. I'm still here. No, I'm not. Like it's 3 minutes and it's still going. So they'll charge you for that. So that's the reason why your amount, every time it's called collection fees. Check your voicemail. I'm not saying don't say anything, but hello. Doesn't make sense to have a 3 minutes voicemail. So if you are owing, then if you have been handed over to the debt collectors, they will charge you that. Let's check the facts about debt, because as I said, it's not nice to have debt. It's really not nice. On payday, some of us, we close our eyes and ears, and then those debit orders, then after that we delete, like, okay, because, at church they told you, the devil is a liar. Ignore the devil, and you're like, those debit orders, that the devil. So, but then unfortunately, you can't run away from your debts. You have to pay them each and every day. It's called a responsibility. Yes, you have rights, but the rights are always paired with responsibility. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you pay. If you took any credit, to make sure that you pay. And if you can't, because remember that life is so unpredictable. COVID showed us that life can be so unpredictable. So you have to call them. Call your credit providers. They are people. They are human. And unfortunately, I won't be able to pay. I'll pay next month. So next month, then you pay, right? So, but if you guys, when they call you, don't answer. It's debts. Yes, it's debts. Call, answer. They want their money. I want my money, right? Yes. Imagine if you were a credit provider and someone takes your 20,000 and tell you that they will pay each and every month and they don't. How are you going to sustain your business? It's a profit. I need to make money. I need to make profit. So it's a responsibility. You need to have a responsibility, guys. Be a responsible consumer. Yes, the information is there, financial literacy, but if you don't have, if you're not a responsible consumer, you always end up right where you are. So let's look at the fact about that. So when you incur the debt, you incur the debt when you borrow money to acquire the goods and services that you must pay later. So obviously a debt, and I always clarify this. So a gym membership is not a debt; it's a service. So you pay as you use. So if you don't pay, then they will stop your membership or your access. Your dish, your DSTV, it's a service, right? So it's not a debt. So a debt is when you took something and you said, I will pay each and every month, or I will pay later, and you signed a credit agreement. That's a debt. But if you are struggling with a gym and then they can blacklist you if they handed you to the debt collectors to collect that money for the gym. But unfortunately, it doesn't fall under our mandate. Only for us, it's only the transactions that you took. You took this cup, and then you said, I will be paying on a monthly installment. And also, when you incur the debt, you must repay the money you owe, as well as the interest on it. That's our mandate. So if it has interest on it, if you took this and it has interest on it, then it falls under our mandate. And then also, you need to understand that borrowing comes at a cost. So when I made that example of a TV, it's 6,000 on cash and then 9,000 on credit. So it's a cost. An extra cost that only you can answer that, whether it's planned or not planned. So each and every day you need to understand that, do I have a budget for this credit that I'm taking? Do I need this in my life? If today they tell me, or at work they retrench me, will I still be able to maintain this credit? Because the reason why a lot of us, we are over indebted, is because of all these things that we did not plan for. So every time when you take credit, make sure that it's something that you, even when you don't have an income, you can take from your savings and pay it off. Because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. You signed a credit agreement to say, at the end of the month, I will, or whether like it or not, come rain or sunshine, I will be paying, and it's my responsibility to pay it. And also, we forget that everything we borrow on cash or buy on credit will have to be paid eventually. That's the harsh reality. Unfortunately, everything that you take on credit, you have to. And no one, even the government, all those companies that are calling you with 021, 087, telling you that they're going to pay for your debt, no one is going to pay your debt. They just want to scam you. And others, now there's another new trick or scammer. When they call you, they start by saying, do you know that your creditors are overcharging you on interest? There's no way that your creditor will overcharge you on interest. Your interest is based on your your credit report or your credit history. My interest rate is not going to be the same as hers, because we are not the same. Our risk assessment is not the same. And you know, with the credit report, I can have 10 debts and my credit score will be high, and she can have 2 and her credit report will be lower, because on that 2, she's not consistent. She pays today, tomorrow she doesn't. She pays tomorrow and she doesn't for 2 months, because she's like, I have 2 credit on my name, so I don't need to worry. I don't even care about that. But with that 10, I'm so consistent. I'm making sure that I pay on time and I pay what is required. So that's the difference. So no one is going to pay for your debts. No one is going. Those people are scammers. I call them the agents of Satan, because they are here to take your hard-earned money. And if you are gullible, if you are vulnerable, if you didn't, listen to my presentation, they will take that money that you worked so hard for, and you come to the NCR, and unfortunately we can't assist you because you did not deposit the money to the NCR. Only the bank can assist you. So we can assist you to find the people and remove you from that counseling. But if you have deposited money, if you've been scammed, if you believe someone is going to remove you from being blacklisted, it's a scam. No, we can't assist you, unfortunately. But anyway, moving along. So the tips, now I have the tips on getting and maintaining a healthy credit. I think it's very important for us to know, because remember that you are still a student or you're still a learner, and then now you're going to, after most of you are applying and you want a stable job or a permanent job. So it's very important to understand that without a stable income, do not apply for credit. Do not. Some of you are the victim of, you know that you are on a 12 months, the learnership is 12 months, eh? Yeah, it's 12 months. But you go and take a phone for 36 months. But you know that your contract is 12 months. Who's going to pay for the other 24 months? And most of you, before you start working, already you have policies. You have taken policy. Before you can even taste your salary, you have policies. And some of you are Rosemary's. You know Rosemary? Yeah. You have put people in your family that you see, this one, my grandmother's been coughing. Hey, I give her 6 months. Hey, then I'm gonna cover her for 100,000. But by that time she choked, because she was eating something that she was not supposed to be eating. She's healthy. She's eating. Even then she's gonna leave you here, because she eats vegetables, right? And when I hear you on sugar, you magwenya and all that, fat cakes. She's gonna leave you here. You're gonna leave her here because you are busy putting her, and remember she's old, so that means her policy is so expensive. There's no way that, guys, you are still on a learnership. There's no way that you can have policies. And by that time, your family members have covered you. If I can ask you, most of your family members have covered you. They are waiting for you to. Yeah, that's true. And you have covered yourself. Why do you cover yourself? Why? Why do you take policy on yourself? I mean, if I die today, 6 feet, I don't care. I know that my family will take care of me, right? But here you are, you took policy on yourself. Why? Why? And by that time, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. Take for your mother. Take for the most important people in your life. Don't stop putting all the, forget about those extended families. Some of them, you don't even talk to them, but you're waiting for them to die. When you hear, your great aunt is passed on, oh, can I have a ID number or death certificate? Because you know you're going to cash out. She's looking at you like, and you didn't even assist with the funeral arrangements, but you cashed out 100,000. Please stop doing that, guys. Please stop doing that. If you have credit, so those are the tips if you have credit. And remember, we need to understand what's taking our money, right? What are we spending our monies on? Because as I said, you taking yourself out is not really a necessity. But if you took credit, it's necessary for you to pay it because you signed a credit agreement. If you don't pay, then they will blacklist you. Then you need to know how much you are or how much is coming in. So it's very important for you to know how much is coming in and how much is going out. So it's your income versus your expenses. And if your income is less than your expenses, you have a problem. You are over indebted. If the money that is coming in, that's supposed to be paying all those things, is less than the money that is supposed to be going out, then it's a problem. It's a problem. You are over indebted. You need help. Call the NCR. You need help. Always, every month, I know that budgeting sometimes can be so tedious, but it will help you. Each and every month before payday, I know some of us when we are broke, we do our budget. Can't payday, day before, you live once, YOLO, and you throw it away. I know, I live only once. I know. At what expense then? After 2 days after payday, hey, Winnie, can you please borrow? Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? Because when we borrow money, we are so humble. And ourselves, we are so humble. But when you have to repay the money, Winnie, Lerato, you're owing me. Me? Owe you? I'm like, can I owe you that money? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why? Pay back the money. Pay back the money. Pay back the money. Remember, pay back the money. All the time, pay back the money. You signed an agreement. You gave that person, even if it's a verbal agreement. You said, I am borrowing from you an unregistered credit provider from work. Yes, and I'll give you when we get paid. Start with that person. Start with that person and start there. We start small and then we come. Then when we have our cars, our house and everything else, we know that we have good discipline and good habits, financial habits. And without financial discipline, guys, you are not going anywhere. You'll always end up where you are and complaining that the government, because, we have this thing of blaming the government. It's the government. It's the government. It's the government. But then the government didn't force you to go and borrow money that you don't afford. It's the government. It's the government. No. Take responsibility. Start right now. Anyway, and also another tip, list all the people that you owe. Everyone. Even that Maki, even that colleague that you owe 50 rand, or list them. It's a debt. It's a debt. Your phone, whatever, list everything. And including your friends, as I said, including your friends and family and neighbors and other people. Listen, list everyone. It will help you. And also get a copy of your free credit report, free of charge. It's free once a year from any of the registered credit bureaus with the NCR. I'll share that information. And then also keep in touch with your bank statement. I've said this. It's very important to always track all your deduction. Even if it's 10 rand, it's every cent counts. I don't care. It's important. That 10 rand, you can even go home or go whatever, or buy whatever. It's money that you don't have. So always track all your deductions. And also get in touch with your creditors and explain your situation if you are unable. So if, let's say, for example, you have, maybe there's something that came out, or maybe your circumstances, your financial circumstances at that month, they changed. Please call your credit providers. They will explain. But that doesn't mean that they will just write off the debt. No, they'll just give you grace. Remember, during COVID, there was what we call a payment holiday. So they'll give you 3 months or 4 months without paying, but when you are okay, you need to pay for that 3 months so that you are not, so that there's no outstanding monies that are, any monies that are outstanding. So it's very important for you to always call them. And then if you said month end, I'll see you month end. Month end, make sure that you pay. Don't, it's not supposed to be the first or second. Month end, it's month end. But anyway, get in touch with your creditors. I've explained this. Don't be threatened or bullied into promising to pay what you don't have. So I know that a lot of credit providers, they are bullies. They threaten us. I was doing a radio interview with Energy FM in Limpopo, and then it was a situation where a consumer was being followed, stalked. So the credit provider, the loan shark, was stalking the consumer. So remember that even though you are owing this person, they don't have to do anything that is illegal to enforce the debt. So you need to report them. So if the person came to your house and took your TV, your microwave, please report them to the NCR. If they took whatever, if they bullied you, they came to the, most of them, they come month end outside your workplace. And then they'll give you a beat down. Because they want their money. And one thing about credit providers, especially the unregistered one, they don't care. I don't care. They will do whatever, and they know that the people will be taking videos. Take that video and come to the NCR and lodge a complaint. And also, you can do it anonymously So you don't have to, we don't want to know where you're from and all that, because we have realized that you guys are protecting your family members. These unregistered care providers, our matronistas, they are our brothers, our fathers, our mothers. So if you know someone, you feel like, oh, they'll know it's me. No, we have an anonymous number that you can just report them. All we need is just their details, address, and all that way we can find them so that we can do an investigation. It's very important for us to do an investigation, because you can lie about me that I am a credit provider and I take people's SASSA cards and IDs and bank cards and pins, only to find out that I don't even borrow money. So we have to do an investigation, because sometimes it's people who are jealous. And some people that even, they like acting like the hawks, They're like, hi man, Winnie has been acting so weird. She has a lot of money. Let me report her to the NCR. No, we have to do investigation to make sure that the person is contravening with the NCA. And also, lastly, review your budget regularly. Very important. Pay your essentials expenses first, your rent. Make sure that all the input before you can go and go to entertain yourself and pay and use your money on other things that are not important. Pay electricity and insurance and all that. But also then pay your day-to-day expenses like transport and food. Very important. Remember your needs and your wants. There's no way that you can go and buy, focus or prioritize your wants when your needs are still there. So always prioritize your needs. Pay off your debts with the highest interest rate first. We call it the snowball method. So you start with that one with the highest interest rate, and then after that you come with those ones. So, but I always say that start with the smallest. The smallest with the smallest balance, not interest. The smallest balance. Remember, when you took credit, you start paying off the interest rate first before you can pay the amount, the principal debt that you borrowed. So you borrowed 500,000, and then the interest rate was, for example, 35,000, for example. So you start the credit provider will start first by making you pay the interest rate, the 35,000 first, before you can come and borrow, because at the end, this is their commission, this is their profit. So this one, you borrowed it, it's 500,000, then after you have paid our commission, then you start with. So the snowball, you start with the smallest, debt, whether it's your retail account, your loan, the 5,000 loan or whatever, start with that, and then come until you are done. And also seek expert advice before selling anything. So a lot of people, they come to the NCR and, I sold my house, I sold my car, but I'm still, in debt. I don't know what to do. Guys, there's no way that you can sell your house. Where are you going to stay? So always seek advice first, because there's no way that you can sell something that is so important to you just because you are in debt. And also we have other options that you can weigh before you can get to a point where you sell your house, but I'll get to that. And also don't cancel important insurances policies, but this is for people who are permanent, people with stable income. When with a stable stipend, please don't even think about insurance. Don't even think about insurance. Don't even think about any debt, because you don't know whether they'll take you permanent or not. So that's the reason why you find people when there's a high unemployment rate, because when you were supposed to be a learner, you were busy being a permanent employee, taking credit everywhere else, thinking that they will take you. Nothing is guaranteed, guys. I know your mentor can tell you that, I'm going to take you, but until something is here in writing, do not trust anyone. Love them all, but trust no one. So until you have signed that says, yes, you are permanent, that's when you can trust, ma'am, thank you. I didn't believe you, but now I believe you because you have signed. Until then, weigh other options. Weigh other options. And this is the mistake that I did. When I was doing my learnership, they were telling me, you work so hard, yay, hey. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get a permanent job. No, after 12 months, zilch, go home, bye. Then after maybe 5 years, that's when I came back, and I came with something better. You understand? So sometimes all I'm saying is that even when someone told you that they were going to get you a job, until it's done, do not take anything, do not commit yourself to anything. And while you're still here, weigh your other options, apply. I didn't apply. I remember I saw another permanent job. I'm like, I love NCR, and they promised me that they're going to take me permanent. They even wrote a memo to say they want to take me permanent. So I don't know who needs to hear this. Take this as a learning curve, to say nothing is guaranteed until it's on the paper, until you sign. And no one is going to get you a job, guys, with money. Or sell. If someone says, I'm going to get you a job, please give me 5,000. It's fine. Get me a job first, and I'll give you the 5,000. I know a lot of young people that came to our office because they were scammed, because someone told them, I'm going to get you a job. But no, there was nothing. But anyway, let's check the importance of checking your credit report. One, when you check your credit report, you check what your creditors see about your credit health and your credit history. So as I said, on your credit report, it will have all your debts that you took. So even those that you didn't, that's when you can be able to, that's the last one, if you are a victim of identity fraud. And also you can also check your personal information if it's correct and if it's not disputed. And also you check any negative data. So those is so important, because you can pay. Hence I always say, always keep your proof of payment. So you can pay that retail, and then at the credit bureau still show that you are still owing, but you have proof. So even after being blacklisted, always keep the settlement letter or the paid up letter. They will send it to your email address so that you can have proof, because there are other companies that will try to collect on the debt that you have already paid. But if you don't have proof of payment, then you don't have proof that that person or that you have paid that debt. So always keep the important documents. I always send them to my email, because at least I can have access to them. So all the time. So when you finish paying a debt, we'll ask for a paid up letter. Without paid up letter, the credit bureau won't be able to update you. So they don't know that you have paid. But then if you have the paid up letter, it's proof. And remember, it takes 7 to 21 working days if you are negatively listed, blacklisted, to be removed from there. So it takes 7 to 21, and it's free of charge. As long as you can pay the debt that you were blacklisted for, and then then send it to the credit bureau, it's 7 to 21. They have 7 to 21 working days to improve it. And also, you can also check on your credit report, you can also check who's looking at your credit your credit record. I don't know if you know that on the other side, it will have all the companies that try to come and do a credit check. And if you know, and a credit check, it means that you went to apply for credit. So if it's not you, that means it's a scammer. Then if you don't check your credit report, that means that you wouldn't be able to see if someone used your ID to apply for credit. So it will have all this a notification to say there's this company that inquired. It's what we call inquiries, that that inquired about you to check if they can give you credit. And if you know that you haven't applied, dispute it to say, no, I haven't applied for credit in the last 6 months or 7 months or a year. So, but then why is this company here? Or I don't have credit on my name. Then why do I have all these companies here? Then they can investigate and remove it from your name. And the last one, victim of identity fraud. If someone used your identity or your ID number, then to apply for credit, then you can dispute it so that they can investigate and remove it from your name. So over indebtedness, it's one of the biggest issue in our country, because it means we are drowning in debt. It means that we can't afford to pay our debt. It means that we are not coping. So let's check what is over indebted. So according to the NCA, you are considered over indebted when the money that is available is not enough to pay all your expenses. That's the example that I made. When your expenses are more than your income, so you are considered over indebted. And the causes of over indebtedness: one, lack of knowledge. Not everyone has the opportunity to sit here and listen to the workshop about financial management and how you can do better or manage your monies. Not everyone is have that opportunity. But however, lack of knowledge is one of the biggest issues that we have in people being over indebted. And also overindulgence. Some of us, we are living in our lifestyle. It's like, yay, I am a millionaire, but then when you check my salary, it's like, I'm supposed to be like a Johnny Walker, right? But then that you are actually living a lifestyle that you can't afford, and it's one of and you tend to go to the credit. You tend to go to the credit providers. You tend to use your credit cards so that you can maintain this life that you can't afford. And also the ignorance of financial products. If I can ask, how many of us are saving? How many of us have money boxes? How many of us, I have, different debit orders that are going through to save money and all that? It's just few. So we are always ignoring the most important financial products. And lack of proper planning. You knew that, as I made that example of you not knowing that your TV is not working, but then Black Friday is coming, and then Black Friday, you see your TV that you always wanted, it's like 50% off, and you're like, and you didn't properly plan. But had you planned properly, you were going to save money so that you can buy this TV. Now you opt for credit, because why? Because there was no proper planning. So, and another one is social pressures, guys. Black tax. Some of us here, we have the responsibility of taking care of our families. But however, I always say that black tax is when, and I consider black tax, as emotional abuse, because now you can't afford. If you can afford, yes, you are taking care of the people that took care of you, but then you are earning 3,500 and they're expecting you to renovate your granny grand house. But you don't even have clothes, like new clothes for your new work. So black tax is an issue, guys, and a lot of young people are victims of that, because they can't say no. Learn to say no all the time. If you can't afford, it's okay. If you can't afford, it's okay. That 3,500, it's not enough for you to take care of everyone. By that time, you still need to pay your rent because you stay far from work, and then you still need to buy electricity and groceries and transport during the month. That's the reason why a lot of us, we tend to come and take salary advances because of black tax. And also our peer pressure on social media. You see someone, you don't know whether they have a snake that gives them money, but you are comparing yourself with that person. Why? You see someone and we have seen them on I Blow It, right? Because of a lack of financial literacy. And when money comes now, you are just you don't know what to do with it. So peer pressure is always a problem amongst us, because because of social media. You see someone with the longest wig. You don't know where maybe their blesser bought it for them, but you want it. But where are you going to get it? You're going to take it on credit. So So sometimes our friends, and also even this thing of, inviting our friends to a party, and then the example that I made, everything is on them. Then why, if we have to pay everything, then why are you having a birthday party? Just stay home. We'll buy you a cake from ShopRite and we say happy birthday and that's it. But then you are celebrating your birthday. There's a theme. There's a theme. There's a present. There's certain hair, a certain, you have to eat 1, 2, and 3 and 4. No, guys, no. No, that's peer pressure. That's peer pressure. Learn to say no. Some things you just need to say no. And also changing circumstances. If you have been divorced, or maybe now you're the breadwinner, your partner or your mother or whoever died, then you have to take care of your family, then that could lead to you being over indebted. And also reckless lending, when the credit providers are giving you credit that you don't afford. I mean that example of GTI, when you are only getting a stipend of 3,500, that's reckless lending. And also the economic upswing. Last year we saw the interest rate hikes that were just going up and up and up and up. Even now we are told that it's going to go down. The interest rates are going to go down, but nothing's happening. So that could also lead to you being, because remember, the installment that you're paying now is not the installment that you're going to pay forever if you took the variable interest. So that you need to put in your mind. The installment that you're paying now is not forever. Hence, you need to, when you do when you check that pre-quotation statement, make put 1,500, 2,000 aside for in case if there's anything that you need money for. And also greed and blind faith. Oh, we are so greedy. We are a generation of greedy. Some of you are doing things that you are not even supposed to be doing, and then you end up being over-indebted. You're busy there, like, for example, I always say, some of you are trading, right? And then you keep on losing. This pyramid schemes, the WhatsApp stock fail and all that. But at what cost? Where are you getting that money from? You see, no man, I keep on. There's no way that you can invest 3,500 and apparently in 2 hours it will be 7,000. Blind faith, never. Never. You invest 3,500 and in 2 months, or 2 hours, it's 7,000. Is it possible? Never. That's a blind faith. Believing things that are not there. Believing someone coming here who, you know what, let's start a WhatsApp stock fail. You know those pyramid scheme? Stop it, guys, stop it. We trust too much. We trust people too much. And with our own money, be so stingy with your own money. When my friends call me stingy, I say, no, I'm financially conscious, but I know that I'm stingy, But it's, you put it in a nice way. You're like, I'm not stingy. I'm conscious with my money because you work so hard for it. And people, they want to take. We all know them. They take. But anyway, so the consequences of over-indebted, unfortunately, if you are drowning in debt, it's employment exclusion. I've mentioned this in the financial company sector. If you want to work for the banking sector, you will never work if you are blacklisted. If you want to work for the NCR, then you unfortunately won't, because how you going to remember charity begins at home. You take care of your finances before you can go and take care of somebody else. How am I as a company supposed to trust you with the finances of my company if you can't even manage yours? So before you look at someone, telling someone that they have this big thing here, look at yourself in the mirror first and see if you don't have a big one that's bigger than them. So you take care of your finances first before you can go to somebody else. And unfortunately, there are companies that won't hire you if you're blacklisted, but the job has nothing to do with finances. So if your job, if the position that you're applying for or the company has nothing to do with finances, then they have no right not to hire you. Only if the company is dealing with finances, because now we don't know whether we are hiring someone who's going to take all the money and run because they are over indebted. So if the position that you're applying for is, for example, it's HR officer or maybe an analyst or whatever, or a learnership, and only if it's not in a financial company, then they have no right not to hire you. And also stress. I've mentioned this, that when we are broke, you like, why are these people looking at me? Where are they supposed? Okay, where are they supposed to like look at? So things like that. And also, you start to underperform when you are over indebted, and then you are always so unhappy. Ooh, you're always taking out your stress on other people at work, and then you end up getting a warning. And then also other consumers, they are abscond because of their financial matters. And lastly, they use the substance abuse, your drugs, drugs, alcohol, and other things just to cope with finances. So if you are sitting there and say, okay, I can hear you, but then how do I get out of debt? What are my options? So you have what we call debt counseling, the credit life insurance, and surrendering of goods. So with debt counseling, it's a program, it exists. It's a program that is intended to assist over indebted consumers in order to in order to not to lose their assets. For example, with a registered debt counselor will negotiate on your behalf with your credit providers. For example, if your car is 10,000, they'll negotiate so that it's 5,000 rand. If your house is 20,000, they'll negotiate so that it's 10. It doesn't mean that the debt is being shortened. No, it will obviously your installment. The lower you pay, the longer you'll pay. So the repayment period, if instead of paying that car for 5 years, you'll be paying for 7 years because you are paying less. But it's better than you losing your assets through repossession. And credit life insurance, I've explained it. It's an insurance for your debt if in cases of death, disability, or retrenchment, then it will pay. Surrendering of goods. This is where you decide to say, oh, I took that GTI and I didn't know that GTI consists of other maintenance, 1, 2, and 3, and now I'm not coping. Then you take it back to the credit provider, and then after that they sell it at an auction so that you can settle. But we always advise consumers to sell it yourself. You have seen people with their cars with the sticker outside to say, for sale, please call. That means that person is selling it instead of going to the credit provider, because the credit provider, when they get to an auction, if your car is worth 500,000, and then when they get to the auction it's 200,000, then they'll sell it for 200,000. But so I'm going to leave you with the debt management tips. So how to manage your debt. So one, budget, whether it's long or short term, and then 2, pay your accounts on time. I've mentioned this, and pay it in full. So if it's 300, pay 300, not less than that. And then do not ignore the letters of demand. Do not ignore those calls. If they call you, do not ignore them. And then if you can't pay, contact your service provider or your credit provider. So this is just an example of you owning up to your debt or confronting your debt. And then also the questions that I'll be leaving you with, ladies and gentlemen, it's where are you today? Emotionally, physically, and psychologically, where are you? And financially, most importantly, you know your situation. And where do you want to be tomorrow? Do you want to do you want to be debt free? Do you want to be someone who manages their finances well? Only you know. And how do you get there? Obviously, the first step for you to get where the financial freedom is you having a financial discipline. But anyway, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. These are my details. We'll also do all this presentation to your churches, your communities, and everywhere else, and free of charge if you need. And the third email address, it's the South African Fraud Prevention Services. So the South African, please register your ID numbers with South African Fraud Prevention Services. So every time when someone opens account, they'll call you to verify or to confirm if it's you. If it's not you, then they will flag it as a fraud. So it's South African Fraud Prevention Services. It's free of charge. You just need to be on their database. And then if you need more information, our website is www.ncr.org.za. And from me, myself, and I, thank you. Mwah. Oh, it's so cold. Can I have it?
Winnie, thank you so much. I think you can all agree it was quite a lot of information to pack into this hour and a half. So we're definitely going to get you back again, a little bit longer. We'll break it up in sessions. So I just want to say, for everyone live streaming, listening, thank you very much. For everyone here in the auditorium, thank you very much. I actually made a few notes as a take home for everyone, but there were so many pointers. So I think the thing that stood out for me was take responsibility for your finances. It's you that put that signature on the paper. Take responsibility and don't run away. So we will share some of the things from her presentation with you via email. And if you have any questions afterwards, Winnie's going to be here for, I think, a little bit longer. If you have any questions and you want to speak to her or speak to one of us, you are welcome to do so. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow for the next one.